cinnamon essential oil is quite harmonious for everything. I find it very, very beneficial. It's one of the oils that I consider to be a staple oil. It is an anti-inflammatory. It's a COX-2 inhibitor. It's powerfully antibacterial. It's antiviral, antifungal, anticoagulant. It's good for circulatory issues because it's a circulatory stimulant. It's a stomach protectant. It's good for ulcers. It's anti-parasitic. How divine is this information, guys? It's going to help eliminate parasites and worms. Good for all digestive issues. Very, very good for ulcers and warts. It is thought to attract oneness to the body, guys. Cinnamon essential oil is so harmonious. It resonates in such fierce vibrations. We all need to be using cinnamon essential oil more, and in this video I'm going to completely break it down with what the cinnamon essential oil is specifically good for, and at the end of the video I will share with you how we can apply this oil. Guys, it's one I don't do without. I love cinnamon. It's going to provide your body with some harmony rapidly. Let's get right into the benefits of it. According to Malaysian researchers and researchers from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, cinnamon is one of the most important spices used daily by people all over the world. Cinnamon primarily contains vital oils and other derivatives such as cinnamaldehyde, cinnamic acid, cinnamate, and numerous other components such as polyphenols. It's, in addition to it being an antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, antimicrobial, anti-cancer. It's lipid lowering. It's good for cardiovascular disease. Cinnamon has been reported to be useful for metabolic syndrome, insulin sensitivity, very good for diabetics, and ovary symptoms, increasing lean body mass, and gastric emptying. It's useful against neurological disorders such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Historically, cinnamon aids in circulation and digestion. It's a common ingredient used in tea for nausea during pregnancy. It's also used following delivery to decrease hemorrhage. The health benefits of cinnamon can be attributed to its antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, astringent, and anti-clotting properties. Researchers in Europe, the Middle East, India, China, and the United States are not necessarily using the same types of cinnamon when they do their research. Guys, many of these, in my opinion, many of these studies on this cinnamon that has been done are not real accurate. This sometimes leads to confusion and contradictory research and findings. Guys, when they do studies on things like this, they will pull one phytonutrient, one constituent of the oil out, and they will study this. And guys, the way nature makes things is it makes it all harmonious together. Nature provides a wide array of phytonutrients, and they need to be combined together to be most beneficial. Guys, the cinnamon has many different phytonutrients in it, and when we consume the cinnamon, we're not just consuming that one particular phytonutrient. They're all combined synergistically to provide our body harmony. So when they study these things, they will pull one phytonutrient out and just study that, and it doesn't work like that, guys, because that's not how they come in nature. But the overwhelming evidence is that cinnamon has numerous therapeutic benefits. Guys, there are many studies on this, and I'm gonna break it down and list some of them in this video, and then I'll provide some links for some other ones so that you can go and you can read these yourself as well. But it's been studied a lot, and the studies primarily are very good on this. Imagine if they would study the whole phytoarray spectrum in the right type of oil harvested organically, what these studies would do. But see, guys, they don't study things like this because they don't want you to know that these divine harmonious plants that Mother Earth provides us can provide your body with all you need healing wise, all you need. And cinnamon is of no exception. It's way up there with the healing that it provides. But guys, not all cinnamon is the same. Cinnamon powder rapidly loses its freshness after we buy it. which means that its active components may oxidize in the air. Research was done with different types of cinnamon, with an old inventory of cinnamon with irradiated cinnamon, or cinnamon that was even given with certain pharmaceutical drugs. That's how these studies are done, guys, and that doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to break it down on some studies that were done correctly. Now, let's talk just a little bit about the different types of cinnamon, because not all cinnamon is the same. In the United States, the word cinnamon can refer to spices that come from various parts of the world and quite different varieties of plants. So not all of the cinnamon essential oils are going to be the same, guys. We've got to get the right type. Most cinnamon spice sold in the United States is actually not even true cinnamon. It's closely related spice called Cassia, or Cassia. Cinnamon Cassia, also known as Chinese cinnamon, is what is usually sold in stores here in the United States. Guys, in 1938, the U.S. Food and Drug Administrative and Cosmetic Act permits spice traders to label the cassia as cinnamon. True cinnamon is Ceylon cinnamon. Cinnamon xylanicum, or sometimes cinnamon verum. Vernum, V-U-R-U-M. This is true cinnamon. This is the way the essential oils need to be. It needs to be the Cinnamomom Verum. And this is the correct kind of cinnamon, not the Cassia cinnamon, which is spelled C-A-S-S-I-A. Most of the scientific studies that I'm going to discuss are going to be specifically on that one. Because that's the correct form and that's the real true cinnamon. The essential oil of cinnamon, guys, is very, very strong. It's one that definitely cannot be applied topically to the skin. Guys, you need to know how oils harmonize with your body before we just start slathering essential oils onto our skin, because cinnamon is a hot oil and it will definitely burn and desensitize the skin if it is used topically neat, because it is wildly, wildly potent. So we need to use extreme caution. In my opinion, it's one of those 80, 20, 30, 70, 40, 60 oils. Start with 20, 80, meaning you're using 20% oil and 80% carrier oil, and then build up to where you might use more, but this, in my opinion, this is not an oil that ever needs to be applied neat to the skin, meaning undiluted, because it will in fact desensitize that area. It is so powerful, guys. This is how divine this oil is. It only takes a little bit, and you need to be combining it with loads and loads of carrier oil. I recommend the raw virgin coconut oil, raw meaning unheated, untreated, organic. This is the best because that carrier oil is antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial, but it also can be combined with other oils. You don't have to use that one. I like many divine oils. I like jojoba. I like sea buckthorn. I like, of course, the black cumin seed. I love to combine oils with black cumin seed, guys. That's on a whole nother level as a carrier oil. But it's not one you want to start with. You want to build up to where you're using more potent. You want to start very gently, guys. That's what I can't stress enough. Start very gently with the cinnamon. Now, the cinnamon is going to provide your body with some harmony fast if you know how to use it correctly. Guys, let me just get into, before I get into all these researches, how we can apply this oil. Guys, if you combine the clove with the blend like lemon, if you combine the cinnamon with a blend like clove and lemon and eucalyptus and rosemary, this is a popular blend that is made called Thieves, and Young Living makes this. And if you'll either buy that brand or make one like that, because we can learn to make these divine oils ourselves. But guys, that one is going to rock your world with vibrations, because that's the blend that I recommend applied to the spine nightly and to the bottom of the feet. And if you will do this, it's going to eliminate some pathogens. Guys, pathogens like to store and harbor around our spinal columns, our spinal cord. And if you'll apply oils every night to the pulse points throughout your whole body, baby, they're going to work quickly to eliminate some of these conditions that we have. They really, really will. Now, with me saying that, please know that we need to start very gently. If you're new to oils, you don't start start slathering it all over your pulse points before you go to bed. We need to do a patch test specifically with the cinnamon first, and we need to allow it to sit on the inside of our arm for at least 24 hours. This is vital. This is key, guys. Because we need to make sure that our cinnamon oil is pure. Because, guys, if it's the Cassia, some people pronounce it Cassia. It's not the right form. And this, you can negatively react to these lesser grade cinnamon essential oils. So, guys, you need to spend a little bit more money to get the right type of oil. Because it needs to be the Cinnamomom Verum, V-U-R-U-M. And this comes specifically from Madagascar or Ceylon. How it's made, guys, is this is steam distilled from the bark. The bark is what is steam distilled. This is the best type of cinnamon oil, in my opinion. If it's done correctly, guys, it's going to contain something called trans-cinnamaldehyde, which we want that to be around 40 to 50%. Eugenol, which is 20 to 30%. Beta-carpholine, which is 3 to 8%, and linol, which is 3 to 7%. This has an ORAC value of approximately 10,340. This is a potent oil. History listed this in the De Materia Medica, AD 78, Europe's first authoritative guide to medicine, which became the standard reference work for herbal treatments for over 1,700 years. Cinnamon was reputed to be part of the vinegar of the four Thieves Vinegar, which in the 15th century these were the robbing bandits from the plague, guys. There was a horrid plague, and everybody was getting sick, and everybody was dying from something crazy going on in the world at that time, and people were dying of this plague, and there were 4 robbers that did not get sick. They were robbing the bodies of their possessions, and they were not getting sick, and they were called into question, and they wanted to know why they didn't get sick, and the reason they told them was because they used a blend similar to the Thieves, and it contains cinnamon. It contains those other ones that I just listed: clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And guys, if you harmonize that, and you can make it yourself if you don't have money to pay for the nice Young Living brand, you can make it yourself. So if you'll apply a blend like that, guys, to the bottom of your feet, work up to your ankles, focus particular attention on the back of your knee, because there's all the blood flows through there, and then bring that on up your leg, up your thigh. We're pushing the energy up towards our heart, guys. This is the key to how oils can harmonize with your body. We all need to become divine aromatherapists, and we need to learn how these oils harmonize with our body for them to be most effective. With that being said, please let me stress again how don't just start applying cinnamon all over your body in the beginning. We don't want this. Start very gently with the cinnamon. I recommend starting it on the bottom of your feet. The first night you use it, of course, check your pulse point first. Let it sit 24 hours. There's no reaction. Then apply it to the bottom of your feet along with some coconut oil. And all over your feet. Give yourself a full reflexology pulse point massage. We need to be doing this, guys. We need to learn where the pulse points are in the feet, because there's a pulse point for every part of your body, in your feet and in your hands. And if you learn to harmonize and hit these pulse points correctly with enough pressure, and it's really there. It's really going to provide your body with some harmony when you're massaging these oils into your feet, guys. I can't stress this enough. We all need to be doing this every night, and then it needs to be the last thing that you do before you go to bed. And then you need to crawl into your sheets, your grounding sheets. We all need to be grounded. I can't stress that enough either, guys. The earth provides a healing vibration. When you take your shoes off and get grounded in it, it's also called earthing, guys. It's how we were meant to be. We are meant to be connected to the earth, and we're not meant to be wearing soles that disconnect us from the earth. So try to take your shoes off as much as you can when you go outside, and if you're inside, try to be grounded. This is going to be most beneficial if you're grounded when you use these oils. They work on a whole nother level if you'll apply this, and then you'll get into your grounding sheet, guys. And of course the sheet that I have is organic cotton with silver woven fibers through it. And of course they say don't put oils on before you get in it, but what else am I going to do, guys? So I just have 2 sheets, and I rotate the sheets out, and the bottom of them get a little bit stained up, but it washes out. And guys, if you'll do this, I can't stress enough how much this is going to help you. If you'll put a blend like the Thieves on your feet every night, start with that, and then work it up through the rest of the body and pushing the energy up towards the heart. After you've used it just on your feet for maybe a week, 3 or 4 days might be enough for some people. If we're trying to rapidly eliminate pathogens and detoxify the body, you want to begin a juicing program and dump some toxins from the liver first with things like the beet, about 1/4 of the beet to begin with, not a full beet, because that might put you in the bathroom for 3 days. Go back and watch some of my juicing videos and learn to get your juice on, because if you'll juice and detoxify the body a little bit, essential oils are going to work on a whole nother level. I can't begin to tell you how many people I have assisted that have reported back that the oil did in fact work differently after they detoxified their body. Some guys, everybody, I used to sell supplements and I sold essential oils, and people would buy essential oils and come back in and tell me there was a reaction or whatnot to it, to an essential oil. And this is the reason. The reason is because we're toxic. Oftentimes, toxins store up under the dermal layer of the skin, and so you want to put an oil on it, and it's going to react violently and negatively if you just start slathering oils onto your skin, because it's going to work quickly to purge these things out. And so a lot of times people will tell me they're allergic to oil. No, you're not allergic to oil. Your body is toxic. You need to detoxify your liver and then learn to harmonize with these oils. Very few people are truly allergic to anything, guys. We shouldn't be allergic to what nature provides naturally and organic, in my opinion. Now there are a few exceptions to this, of course, because I know of peanut allergies and specific things. But guys, the cinnamon's one that you shouldn't be allergic to. If you're allergic to it, we've got a toxicity issue. And so I would recommend everybody just start juicing. Start juicing right away. Get your liver detoxified a little bit, and then go back to the oil, and you'll find that you won't react negatively to it after this is done. Because, guys, our bodies are electric. The trillion of cells that we have, they're to be fueled with live enzymes. Live enzymes contain live vibrations that provide total harmony for your body. They alkalize, they detoxify, they restore the intestinal flora within the body, and then go back to your oil. But guys, put a blend like the Thieves on your feet every night, and then do this for a week or so, and then start to apply it through the rest of your pulse points through your body. Don't start immediately slathering it on your whole body. I would start with your feet, and then the next time go up your leg, and then we want to be including this really rapidly on the spine, very rapidly onto the spine, because applied along the spinal column, it helps to eliminate these pathogens that like to harbor there. Pathogens attached to the spinal cord, and we need to eliminate these in a blend like the Thieves, including cinnamon. Cinnamon is a key oil in the blend like Thieves. But guys, these people weren't getting sick. They were coming directly in contact with these viruses, and they weren't getting sick because they were using a blend like that. So let me get right into the studies of this. I can't stress enough how if you'll start using cinnamon, it's going to work quickly to eliminate whatever issue it is you have. And we don't need to just be applying this oil, in my opinion. We need to be ingesting it too. If it's a pure oil, I love to include a few drops of something like this in at the very beginning of my juice glass. And guys, it will rock your world with vibrations. Ingesting divine oils this way, they're on a whole nother level ingested. But please know that we need to use caution when we're doing this. If you're taking prescription medications, you need to check with your natural medical practitioner to make sure that these are going to harmonize with whatever you're taking, because they will react with certain prescription medications. And cinnamon's not one you want to be taking if you're taking blood thinners, because cinnamon naturally will increase the circulation through your body. So I don't recommend taking it with anything like this. So learn how these oils harmonize and how your body harmonizes before you start just ingesting them. But guys, if you will ingest this, put it in a veggie cap with coconut oil, and take a few drops of the cinnamon along with various other oils. You're gonna find it provides your body with some harmony rapidly. A blend like the Thieves. Put it in a capsule and take it a few times a day. This is going to really boost your immune system. If you're sick, you can take a blend like that, 2 capsules 3 or 4 times a day, and man, I'm telling you, there's not much it won't do for you. The vast majority of research on cinnamon has to do with controlling diabetes and various other related conditions. So I'll start with that. The true cinnamon is a popular kitchen spice widely investigated for insulin effects. Researchers in India investigated water-soluble polyphenols to evaluate their effect on insulin and blood sugar. The polyphenol-enhanced extracts were shown to be safe while offering good antioxidant potential. The diabetic rats that were treated with polyphenol-enhanced extract experienced reduced blood sugar during the 30-day experience. The same benefit was obtained by a group of 15 human volunteers with chronically elevated fasting blood sugar levels who were not using medication to control blood sugar. A review of studies conducted by California researchers examined cinnamon effect on blood sugar and lipid, which is the blood fat, levels in diabetic patients. 10 random controlled trials with a total of 543 patients were examined. Cinnamon doses of 120 milligrams per day to 6 grams per day were given for a period of 4 to 18 weeks. So that's a small amount compared to quite a large amount. 6 grams is slightly more than 2 teaspoons. Among these findings was an average reduction in fasting blood sugar levels of 24.59 milligrams. The reduction changed from 40.52 to 8.67 depending on the study. The study did not affect the hemoglobin levels. The researchers did not make specific recommendations for cinnamon doses per day because the doses varied quite a bit among the studies. The studies aren't consistent. They don't do the studies right in the first place. In my opinion, the study needs to be on the oil. The oil is wildly effective. If they would study what a blend like this does, clinical study, they would find that it would reverse many of these conditions that people have. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. But don't start taking loads of this oil in the beginning, ingesting it. The oils don't work that way, guys. Watch some of my previous oil videos, and I explain a little bit more about that. A significant reduction in fasting plasma glucose, waist circumference, and body mass index was observed at week 12 compared to the values at the beginning of the study for the group. So these people lost a lot of weight with cinnamon. However, these changes were, imagine if they'd been using the oil, these changes were not significant when compared to the placebo group. The researchers concluded that an intake of 2 grams, which is slightly less than 2 teaspoons of cinnamon for 12 weeks, significantly reduces the blood pressure for poorly controlled type 2 diabetes patients. Cinnamon cinnamon supplementation could be considered as a dietary supplement option to regulate blood glucose levels and blood pressure levels, along with conventional medication to treat type 2 diabetes. I recommend starting with the herb and then build up to where you're using the oil. It's going to be most beneficial. But if you're buying the herb, buy it from a reputable company that's processing these herbs correctly. Guys, they don't need to be using too much heat or fire to extract these essences or to dry these essences. Many times when they do this, they will burn the phytonutrient components within it, and this is no good. It won't provide your body harmony. This is the reason why I don't like a lot of the powders that are sold. If you're buying a cinnamon powder, you need to be buying the organic. And guys, the light immediately oxidizes it, so keep it in a dark glass jar and keep it away from your EMFs. We need to keep our oils and our spices away from the outlets that are on the walls, because guys, these outlets are emitting dirty frequencies. This is a DC current. It's not the current that Tesla harnessed from the air. Guys, electricity is all around us, and there's many ways that we can be harnessing electricity organically instead of having a power plant and having to pay for electricity. And this has all been disclosed, but of course it's not taking place because there's powers that are currently in control that are not allowing this to come forth. And we all need to wake up to this. But protect your oils from the EMFs. I can't stress that enough. Protect your oils from these EMFs. So build kind of a Faraday cage for your oils, meaning a box surrounded with copper. Complete copper is going to protect everything. And you can include certain stones as well. Tiger's Eye is a very protecting stone. I love Tiger's Eye to protect the EMFs from the body and from the oils. Onyx, hematite, all of these stones are very shungite. Shungite's one of the fiercest protecting stones that there is, and it also purifies the water and adds fullerenes to water. Watch my shungite video if you want to learn how to consume some divine healing water. Let me keep going into the benefits of this. Specifically, now let's talk about type 2 diabetes. In a study conducted by Chinese researchers, the effects of giving cinnamon polyphenols to diabetic mice were investigated. The mice were fed high sugar, high fat diet. The results matched other studies which produced reductions in blood sugar, blood insulin levels, and oxidative stress. Guys, the aging process just consists of more free radicals, and these are damaging the body. A lot of times we have toxic livers, and if the liver's toxic, then if you introduce the slightest little bit of more toxins, this is going to accelerate the aging process, and it's going to inflame your body. Sickness and disease come from an inflamed body. Cancer and all of these things cannot live in an alkaline state, an oxygenated environment, and that's what these oils provide your body with. They oxygenize, they alkalize, they harmonize with the whole body. Let me keep going into the benefits of this study. Sorry. What was even more interesting was the damage to the pancreatic beta cells in the inslets of the pancreas. These benefits may have actually resulted from the repair of pancreatic beta cells and from improvement in their antioxidant capacity. Antioxidative capacity, which came from the use of cinnamon polyphenols. Guys, it protected their pancreas. Scientists from Spain also conducted research on polyphenols. They noted that polyphenols have been reported to prevent chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, neurodegenerative diseases. The objective of the study was to identify anti-obesity polyphenol plants using diabetic rats. Rats were fed high-fat and high-sugar diet and were given various polyphenolic plant extracts. They tested extracts from apple, from almond, cinnamon, orange, and lime. Rats were treated for 56 to 64 days. Their results showed that only the apple and the cinnamon extracts were finally considered as potentially important anti-obesity extracts due to their ability to reduce body fat. You're going to lose weight in the presence of cinnamon. They also noted that apple polyphenols reduced metabolic complications associated with obesity. This is a helpful tip, guys. If you'll juice loads of apple with cinnamon, and this tastes blissful, it's going to provide your body with some harmony. And then toss in some ginger, some turmeric with black pepper. Guys, it's going to eliminate some of these conditions that we have pretty rapidly. I'm telling you, the apple and the cinnamon don't play around with ailments in the body. The pectin in the apple harmonize quite divinely with the cinnamon, the cinnamonic acid in the cinnamon, and it's going to harmonize your body pretty quickly. For weight loss, researchers from Pakistan reported that obesity is a risk factor leading to a number of chronic and metabolic disorders. If we're overweight, guys, we need to harmonize the body. We need to alkalize the body, and when you start to alkalize the body, the weight's going to come off. But they observed two important changes. First, the rats voluntarily reduced their intake of food, and there was an increase in a neurotransmitter called 5-HT serotonin. 5-hydroxytryptamine. Guys, this is a precursor to serotonin, and it's going to stimulate the secretion from the pineal. The pineal secretes melatonin and serotonin and various other things. And cinnamon oil is going to increase this, guys. How divine is this information? Cinnamon's going to put you in a good mood. And when we're in better moods, we crave divine things is what we crave. We crave healthy foods. If you'll detoxify your liver, you'll start to crave healthy things, guys. Many people tell me, oh, I don't like cabbage. I don't like all of these greens. Guys, if you'll detoxify your liver, your acquired taste is going to change. We should be craving divine, harmonious things, not things that are toxic to the body. And many of the things that we crave currently are toxic to our body. So let's detoxify the body to where we don't crave these things in the first place. But it will increase your 5-HTP level in your body. And guys, this is what we want to be doing. If your pineal is secreting more of this, it's going to harmonize the whole body. Cortisol levels will increase. You're naturally going to lose weight. Elevated levels of this neurotransmitter are seen with persons of anorexia. Thus, cinnamon seems to increase this level in overweight rats, which reduces their desire to overeat. Let's talk a little bit about diabetic kidney disease. Chinese researchers were interested in studying this ability of the Chinese cinnamon, which is the cinnamon Cassia, to prevent diabetic neuropathy, which is kidney disease. That disease is very difficult to treat and prevent. Chinese Cassia, which is the lesser quality Cassia, I might add, but I'm just including this study in there, is one of the most popular natural spices and flavoring agents in many parts of the world. They isolated several compounds from the cinnamon extract. Their results showed that some of the isolates did prevent certain actions and which would lead to kidney disease. So they suggested that it was very, very good against diabetic neuropathy, very good for the kidneys. Cinnamon used for high blood pressure. Canadian researchers reviewed and evaluated the effects of short-term administration of cinnamon on blood pressure regulation in patients with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes by looking at randomized placebo-controlled clinical trials. They found that cinnamon significantly decreased systolic blood pressure by an average of 5.39, and the reduction ranged from 6.89 to 3.89. The diastolic blood pressure was reduced by an average of 2.6. Guys, this is divine. Cinnamon used to protect the pancreas. Let's talk a little bit about that. The anti-diabetic effects of cinnamon has generated broad interest during the past decade. Researchers from Taiwan investigated the ability of the essential oil of cinnamon to reduce blood pressure and protect the pancreas from damage, because that's what it does. The essential oil was made from indigenous cinnamon leaves. Several groups of diabetic rats were tested with different doses of cinnamon oil. All of the doses of cinnamon oil significantly lowered fasting blood sugar. A very interesting finding involved the levels of insulin. It reduced the levels of insulin in the body. They found that the lowest dose of cinnamon oil reduced plasma insulin levels better than the higher doses. The low dose was 12.5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for the rats. 25 and 50 50 milligram per kilogram of body weight was not as effective at regulating the insulin. So if you're diabetic, you take very, very small doses of it multiple times a day in not large quantities. That's what they found out, because we've got an issue in the body. If there's diabetic present, there's an inflammation issue in the body. And if you learn to harmonize and alkalize, I'm telling you, many of these conditions can be reversed, you guys. We do not have to suffer from all of these ailments and all of these inflictions. This is craziness, guys, that we're suffering from all of these things when nature provides us with all of this divine harmony. In addition, the low dose of cinnamon oil significantly reduced the pancreatic values, the acid reactive substances and activities of superoxide dismutase and glutathione in diabetics. It stimulates glutathione and superoxide dismutase, which is the most potent free radical scavenger that the body can produce naturally on its own. Guys, this is going to decrease inflammation in your whole body if you stimulate this process. If you stimulate those two master antioxidants that the body can naturally produce, your whole body will harmonize. But in conclusion, appropriate doses of cinnamon in the linalool chemotype exhibited therapeutic potential in blood sugar control that partially resulted from improved insulin secretion. The reduction in oxidative stress and inflammation in the pancreas by cinnamon oil may provide a protective effect on pancreatic cells. Yes, of course it does. Cinnamon for arthritis and pain relief. Cinnamon bark. Cinnamon, which is the Verum type, is one of the oldest traditional medicines used in India for inflammation and pain-related disorders. It's a pain-relieving oil. Researchers in India evaluated the effects of polyphenol fraction from cinnamon bark in animal models of inflammation and rheumatism arthritis. They worked with several groups of rats that were induced with various health conditions. These included rat paw inflammation, localized immune system distress, or various other things. Researchers observed dose-dependent decreased inflammation, edema, pain reactions, and cytokine activity. In conclusion, they determined that cinnamon polyphenols have a prominent action in animal inflammation and arthritis, and therefore can be considered as anti-rheumatic agent, which can be used to treat these diseases. So, of course, it's going to harmonize with your body to decrease inflammation and pain throughout your whole body. For cinnamon and Alzheimer's, let's talk a little bit about that. Researchers from California found that cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde, which inhibits the aggregation of a particular protein called tau, T-A-U. And it is needed for normal structure and function of neurons in the brain. Listen to this very carefully, guys. However, if this protein begins to accumulate, it can form neurofibrillary tangles, which are a characteristic of Alzheimer's disease. Cinnamaldehyde and epitacein, which is found in cinnamon, were found to protect the tau from oxidative damage that can lead to dysfunction. It's interesting to note that there's a high correlation between type 2 diabetes and Alzheimer's. Some even believe Alzheimer's may be a form of brain diabetes. I believe it is. Insulin and the receptors for insulin in your brain are crucial for learning and memory. And it's known that these components are lower in people with Alzheimer's. Guys, this oil is going to provide your brain with some harmony. Very, very neuro-regenerating oil. Whole nother level this oil is. Cinnamon boosts the activity of the brain and hence acts as a good brain tonic. It helps in removing nervous tension and memory loss. Cognitive tests revealed that subjects who used cinnamon had better memory functions and could process information more quickly. Guys, we need to be diffusing this too, but please know when you open up your cinnamon, don't take a whiff of it. If it's this pure cinnamon, you don't want to be doing that. It's too strong and it can hurt